Yes, you're right, Kodojo, Erander. Khajiit has to remember she's Archmage, and... well, she doesn't know if that's considered an equivalent to the Jarl. She suspects not, but, he should listen to her, yes? Khajiit would just like to point out that locked gates will not aid against flying dragons. Just thought you ought to consider that. Okay.
What can Kodojo do
No.
We'll pay whatever it takes, but we must have more swords for the Imperial soldiers.
Maybe here,
I just can't fill an order that size on my own.
when they're finished.
Why don't you swallow that stubborn pride of yours and ask Yorland Greymane for help?
Hopefully soon.
I'd sooner bend my knee to Ulfric's Stormcloak.
Imperial City?
Besides, Greymane would never make steel for the Legion.
Uh-huh.
Have it. If you wish to hunt with me, your feet need to be expect a miracle.
Khajiit was not speaking to you. Thank you very much. Excuse me? Excuse me? Hello?
Got some good pieces out here if you're looking to buy. More inside.
Khajiit thanks you. She is Archmage Zahjira, and she was wondering if you could direct her, a little bit about Whiterun. She is looking for the Jarl's Palace, yes?
Plenty. I'd say we're prosperous enough. Most folk don't go hungry, if they're willing to work hard. The city's ruled by the Jarl up in Dragon's Reach.
Ah.
That's the fortress there, up on the tall hill.
On the hill.
But
Excellent.
you're probably more interested in your Vasker.
No.
Mead Hall of the Companions.
No.
Their deeds of war and valor are legendary.
That's nice to know. Khajiit will perhaps visit them one day, but that day is not today.
Don't forget to check inside the shop if you need anything.
Khajiit thanks you, but Khajiit has other fish to fry. Up
I
on
work
the
with my
hill.
mother to sell fruits and vegetables. It's fun most days, but hard work.
Well, good for you. Helping your mum.
They say Helgen got hit by a dragon.
Yes.
One of those horrors comes here. We'll be ready.
You go ahead and think that. Yes. Probably for the best. This is a hill. This looks... It will probably be a
Come to
large...
chat with an old woman, hmm?
No.
Do your good deed for the day?
Sorry, no ma'am. Khajiit is on other business. Perhaps another day? Oh, look at that big building. That is definitely on a hill. That might be it.
Battleborn, give me your money.
I don't have any money.
Hey!
You better give me 5 septims right now or I'm gonna bloody your nose.
Quit that.
No, please. I really don't have any money, Braith. I'll give you 10 septims tomorrow. Just don't hit me.
10
Jeez.
septims tomorrow, baby Battleborn, or I'm gonna bloody your nose and your lip.
What a bully.
It's no fun getting pushed around all the time.
Khajiit can understand that.
All right then.
Khajiit would help you, but, you.
What are you looking at? I'm not afraid of you, you know, even if you are my elder.
Well, you ought to be. Khajiit could paddle you but good. Khajiit does not like bullies. But that is not Khajiit's child. And unfortunately, Khajiit...
I know your family's honor is important to you, but we can't afford it.
It took me weeks to find that thieves' den. I can't stop now. And I can't get the sword on my own.
Aha.
So you're willing to starve your wife and daughter to reclaim some rusty old sword?
I just need to hire one, maybe 2 good men. You won't starve.
I'll put it plainly. You can claim your sword, or you can keep your wife. If you set foot outside that gate, I won't be here when you return.
Perhaps Khajiit could, help, but
Saphir!
not today.
Wait,
Excuse me?
You tried mercenary work? It might suit you.
You seem to have some kind of dispute with your wife, no? Perhaps Khajiit could help you with that, if you would, in turn, would, be willing to let Khajiit know if that big house, or big building up on that hill is in fact the Jarl's Palace, yes? So this dispute with your wife.
My Saphir doesn't like that I've been spending so much time looking for my father's old sword.
Ah.
He fed his entire family with the gold he made using that weapon. I'm not about to let it gather dust in some thief's trophy room.
Khajiit can understand. Such sad tales always make Zahjira sad, but perhaps Khajiit could provide assistance, if not immediately.
I tracked it to a group of bandits nearby.
Ah.
But I'm no fool. I'd need the Whiterun guards or maybe hire the companions to get it. I don't know why I'm saying this, but if you find it out in your travels, I'd be grateful to you.
Of course. Khajiit would be more than willing to return it should she find such a thing, yes?
If you find that sword, please bring it to me.
Khajiit will keep an eye out.
Your children, your
Who? Do you hear that guy?
And what does the Empire do? Nothing! Nay, worse than nothing!
Aha.
The Imperial machine enforces the will of the Dalmor against its own people!
He sounds like a rabble-rouser.
Rise up! Rise!
Don't you guys think?
I can handle
children of the Empire.
this talk of dragons.
Rise up,
World gone mad, I
Stormcloaks.
say.
Khajiit can
Embrace
assure
the
you
word
there
of
is a
mighty
dragon.
Talos,
A
he who
big
is both
black
man
one.
and divine.
Yes, this has to be where Khajiit needs to go.
Patron of the great clan Battleborn. A name I'm sure you know well.
Well, I'm sure Khajiit will come to know it. She is Archmage Zahjira. Nice to meet you. Let's get up here. This. Oh yes, this has to be the right place.
Greetings, traveler.
Khajiit sure hopes this Jarl is a lot more polite than several of the other Jarls Khajiit has met. We'll find out.
My lord, would you have
please.
me do then?
You have
Nothing?
to listen. My lord, please. This is no time for
What's
rash.
the meaning of this interruption?
I've actually never
Jarl
managed to
Balgruuf
visit
is not
Whiterun,
receiving
but I always
visitors.
wanted to.
Khajiit is Archmage Zahjira, and Khajiit has news from Helgen about the dragon attack, yes?
Well, that explains why the guards let you in.
Indeed.
Come on then. The Jarl will want to speak to you personally.
Ah, good. Khajiit needs to speak to him.
So, you were at Helgen?
Yes.
You saw this dragon with your own eyes?
Khajiit saw it leaving. This is actually the second dragon Khajiit has seen. The first one, though, was long dead. It was just bones. Animated bones, but bones nonetheless. This, however, was a live dragon. Big and black. And she saw it leaving Helgen and heading towards Whiterun, come to think of it. That dragon destroyed Helgen. It's all ash and rubble. Khajiit could find only one survivor, an Imperial soldier. The others, she hopes, got to safety. The dragon, it was heading this way. Did you see it?
By Ysmir, Irileth was right. What do you say now, Proventus? Shall we continue to trust in the strength of our walls? Against the dragon?
Khajiit doesn't think
My
it
lord,
work.
we should send troops to Riverwood at once.
Oh, yes, please.
It's in the most immediate danger. If
The
that
Jarl
dragon
of
is lurking in the
Falkreath will
mountains...
view that as a provocation.
Ah.
He'll assume we're preparing to join Ulfric's side and attack him.
But you can't leave them undefended.
Enough! I'll not stand idly by while the dragon burns my hold and slaughters my people.
Oh, good.
Irileth, send a detachment to Riverwood at once.
Oh, good.
Yes, my Jarl.
Thank you,
If you'll
Jarl.
excuse me, I'll return to my duties.
Archmage Zahjira
That
thanks
would be
you.
best. Well done. You sought me out on your own initiative. You've done Whiterun a service, and I won't forget it.
You're
Here,
quite welcome.
take this as a small token of my esteem.
Oh, thank you.
There is another thing you could do for me.
Oh?
Suitable for someone of your particular talents?
Perhaps?
Come, let's go find Farengar, my court wizard.
Ah.
He's been looking into a matter related to these dragons and rumors of dragons.
Of course, but,
It takes a while to...
Khajiit just thought she'd mention while we're walking to wherever we're going. The gates, all those closed gates are going to do is keep out refugees. If that's your intention, then that's, well, Khajiit wouldn't say it's fine, but it's not going to stop the dragon. Didn't it, Helgen?
Farengar, I think I found someone who can help you with your dragon project. Go ahead and fill her in with all the details.
So the Jarl thinks you can be of use to me?
Apparently.
Oh yes, he must be referring to my research into the dragons.
Yes.
Yes, I could use someone to fetch something for me. Well, when I say fetch, I really mean delve into a dangerous ruin in search of an ancient stone tablet that may or may not actually be there.
Ah, that sounds like something Khajiit and her friends can handle. By the way, Khajiit is, Archmage Zahjira, from Winterhold. Alright, Khajiit's a little relieved it was easier to talk to the Earl than she thought. Zahjira assumes that this item you want her to get has something to do with dragons, yes?
Ah, no mere brute mercenary, but a thinker.
Yes?
Perhaps even a scholar? You see, when the stories of dragons began to circulate, many dismissed them as mere fantasies, rumors, impossibilities. One sure mark of a fool is to dismiss anything that falls outside his experience as being impossible.
Quite true.
But I began to search for information about dragons. Where had they gone all those years ago?
They died.
Where were they coming from?
Khajiit doesn't know. You've heard other rumors, then? Well, Khajiit has seen one dragon, well, bones of a dragon, as she told the Jarl, but the dragon at Helgen was quite alive, and quite large, and apparently it breathed fire. But the thinner the patience of a Khajiit wears, the sharper their claws become, no? Perhaps you could get to the point.
I, learned of a certain stone tablet said to be housed in Bleak Falls Barrow.
Mm-hmm.
A dragon stone, said to contain a map of dragon burial sites. Go to Bleak Falls Barrow, find this tablet, no doubt interred in the main chamber, and bring it to me. Simplicity itself.
Well, Khajiit has a suspicion it will not be quite as simple as you say. If Khajiit must brave Bleak Falls Barrow, which she will, it may help to know more about it, yes? Khajiit's heard the name before. Recently. Raelov? No. Well, that was the other fellow. Oh, his name started with an H and Khajiit cannot remember. Hadvar. Yes. He said something about a barrow. Was it? Oh, never mind. Khajiit can't remember. Khajiit is a little too discombobulated by the fact there are dragons around. If Khajiit must brave Bleak Falls Barrow, it may help to know more about it, no?
An old tomb, built by the ancient Nords. Perhaps dating back to the Dragon War itself.
Perhaps.
Ah, maybe you just want to know how to get there.
That would help.
It's near Riverwood, a miserable little village a few miles south of here.
Ah!
I'm sure some of the locals can point you in the right direction once you get there.
Khajiit thinks a local already has, in fact. How do you know that the stone tablet you seek is there,
Well, must preserve some professional secrets, mustn't we? I have my sources. Reliable sources.
Well, Khajiit hopes they are reliable. Perhaps you can tell Khajiit a little bit about the Dragon War. You said that the Bleak Fall Barrow perhaps dates from that time. Khajiit has never heard of a Dragon War.
I'm not surprised you've never heard of it. Even I used to think it was just a myth. But not anymore. The Dragon War was a real event, although only the barest glimmer of the actual events has come down to us. Far back in the Mythic era, the dragons were worshipped as gods in Skyrim. Many of the monumental ruins that still dot the landscape were in fact built as temples to the dragons. The details are lost, but at some point, the Nords rebelled. After a long and terrible war, the Nords overthrew their dragon overlords.
Ah, and is that why the dragons were thought to have died out? They were all killed?
Oh no. Many were killed, of course.
Oh.
But many survived into historical times.
They did?
Why, this very palace was built by one of Balgruf's ancestors to hold a captive dragon.
Was?
Hence its name, Dragon's Reach.
Well, that would explain it. You are the only wizard in Whiterun, yes?
I believe I am, yes. Technically speaking, of course. The city is also home to a priest, priestess, an alchemist, and I'm sure others who practice. Ah, that reminds me. Speaking of alchemists, I have some frost salts for Arcadia. She asked me to obtain them for one of her potions.
Did she?
Would you be so kind as to deliver the frost salts for me? I'm sure Arcadia will provide some form of recompense.
Sure, why not? Khajiit supposes she could deliver the frost salts for you. Khajiit will be most likely visiting her anyway.
Good. You're clearly better suited than I am to carry out such a menial task.
Excuse Khajiit? Perhaps she won't deliver the frost salts. How rude. What are the duties of a court wizard? Parties for the children, perhaps.
I'll put it simply, so you'll understand. I advise the Jarl in matters of magic. If the Hold is faced with any threats or mysteries of a magical nature, I am called upon to explain things and suggest a course of action. Hopefully that answer will satisfy you. Good day.
This is a priority now.
Khajiit hopes you keep
Anything
your
we can
tongue.
use to fight this dragon, or dragons, we need it quickly, before it's too late.
Of course, Jarl
Of course,
Khajiit.
Jarl Balgroof. You seem to have found me an able assistant.
Excuse Khajiit?
I'm sure she will prove most useful.
Succeed at this, and you'll be rewarded. Whiterun will be in your debt.
Khajiit thanks you, Jarl. And you... Khajiit is going to have a bone to pick with you. She suspects you must not speak to the Jarl like that, or you would have probably been thrown out on your ear by now. What is it with elvish types and being rude? I mean, even you are Urander. I mean, you're not rude to Khajiit, but you can be... No, actually, come to think of it, you aren't that rude at all. Khajiit apologizes to you. Not all elves are rude. Just some of them.
Wow, look at that robe. Are you a wizard?
Yes, Khajiit is a wizard. Right. So, Jarl,
What is it that you need?
Khajiit is wondering, how can you protect Whiterun from the dragons? They can fly over the walls.
With good planning and constant vigilance.
Okay.
Even now, my court wizard, Farengar, continues his research into ways we might drive back these terrors. We must also have ample reserves of water to combat the fires that will surely spread after an attack.
Of course.
But our greatest weapon? Courage. For if we cannot kill the beast, we must at least have the tenacity to drive it back. Until brave heroes step forward to destroy these monsters, that is the best we can do.
Khajiit can understand. She
Now,
is...
if you don't mind, I've got a city to keep.
Of course. Khajiit would just like to say that she is not sure she would like to face a dragon, even with an army. So she hopes things go well. And actually, that must be the dragon head, skull, that she's heard about. Yeah, looks very much like the head of the dragon that Khajiit, the bone dragon that Khajiit saw. Well, she doesn't like saying killed because it was already dead, but, dispatched? Oh, it's getting late. Khajiit has frost salts to deliver for a rude elf, and, Khajiit has to visit that barrow with her friends. Yes. Alright. Well, as much as Khajiit would like to look around a bit, she thinks perhaps, yes, we should... Well, let's see if the alchemist is still open. Assuming Khajiit can find the alchemist before they close. And, we had a letter to deliver here too, didn't we? To the priestess. Khajiit is pretty sure it's still in her pack.
Amazing city. I've actually never managed to visit Whiterun.
Oh, and you're still at it. Are you? Oh, sorry, Erander. Khajiit didn't mean to interrupt you, but,
For I love you. Love.
Khajiit doesn't particularly like the way he goes on about love like that. Sounds rather, unpleasant, actually.
Skyrim, the future of
He's just shrieking, isn't he?
And there it is, friends. The ultimate.
I've got a lot of respect for the Restoration School. Skyrim could use a lot more healers.
Well, thank you. Khajiit doesn't do too badly. Well, there's supposed to be a temple. And... well, we'll worry about the temple after. It's probably right around here. Hello?
Well met. My name is Iria, an acolyte priestess of Kenareth.
Khajiit thinks you rather smell of corpses. Khajiit thinks you may have your temples mixed up.
On the contrary, while I am a priestess of Kenareth, I am studying under Anders in the Hall of the Dead.
Ah.
It is part of my independent research into the nature of death. If we can better understand how an injury or illness kills, we will be more adept at applying a suitable remedy.
That makes sense.
Since Whiterun serves as the divide between Imperials and Stormcloaks, the war brings many suitable specimens to study. Incidentally, I also happen to adore the pungent aroma of a fresh corpse.
Ew.
That was a jest.
Oh, that's a relief. That's a good one.
I do find humor does much to deflect some of the more unsavory aspects of handling corpses.
Khajiit hopes you respect them,
In
yes?
Eastmarch, there is a priestess of Arcane named Helgerd. She was much funnier than I, and much more keen. She could pinpoint a cause of death simply by studying the exterior of the corpse.
Could she?
She could determine the time of death by markers of decay.
Lovely. Why did you not stay with Helgerd then?
2 reasons. The proximity of the Temple of Kenareth, as well as the ample supply of bodies.
You
it allows me to conduct my research while still upholding my duties as a priestess. Of course, the corpses here are not the only specimens worth study. There is also the men.
The men? She assumes you refer to the living men. Khajiit is wondering, your research? Well, Khajiit can understand, wanting to inquire into things seems rather unnecessary. Spells and potions heal everything, don't they?
True. Both healing spells and potions restore the body as a whole. Yet most of this energy seems wasted in the process.
Well, true.
If a spell could be concentrated at a specific area, then it is possible the effects will be enhanced.
Perhaps.
For a master of restoration, the point is moot. Even a grand healing spell is but a portion of their magical reserve.
True.
However, for a novice mage or a spell sword, the amount saved on magica potions alone could be substantial.
That is a fair point. It's possible your research may be more appreciated in Elven lands, however. The Nords do not seem too keen on magic, in general.
I have no doubt it would, but I do not lack support, and Skyrim has no shortage of test subjects.
Alas, this is true. But you must realize there's consequences to your actions. There may be people who do not wish their loved ones to be examined.
There are 3 types of research. The first is the kind done purely for knowledge. The college mages fall into this category. The second is driven by agenda, the most common of which are money and war. Mostly money, but war is a close second. The third is altruistic, or more specifically, in service to the gods. As priestesses of the divine, we are stewards of this mortal plane. My research follows no banner. It serves the will of the gods and the protection of all who worship them.
Hmm.
If my research is used for war, I am not to blame, even if I may be responsible. It is a responsibility I take gladly. I trust that the nature of mortals is inherently good, for if we as mortals are corrupt, then it makes little difference what one person does. Our demise is inevitable with or without my research. Hopefully with. That was... well, you know what that was.
A joke?
Yet you are not laughing. That is not acceptable.
Perhaps it has something to do with the monotone voice you give Khajiit the joke in. Perhaps Khajiit is a mage, and it is true, she does collect knowledge, but she also tries to keep in mind what it's used for, so Khajiit doesn't think you should tar every college mage with the same brush. Yes? But speaking of that, has your research borne any fruit?
Currently, I am deducing the nature of poison. It seems that regardless of the substance, the body has a threshold which cannot be surpassed. This can vary depending on the substance. For instance, the toxicity of nightshade is far higher than that of a jazbay grape. A jazbay grape, on the other hand, can leave one susceptible to destruction magic.
Uh-huh.
All things, when consumed in enough quantity, can kill.
This is probably true. But can one die from, say, drinking too much water? I mean, your stomach will only hold so much, yes? It sounds like a reasonable deduction.
There is a story, in fact, of a man who drank from a fountain that was rumored to restore youth. An elderly man, he consumed water from dawn until dusk, his stomach bloated like a gourd.
Oh.
The sun had not yet set when the man collapsed and died. He had succumbed to water poisoning.
What?
For him, water was the source of all death.
You can die from drinking too much water. Go on.
Similarly, as poison is in the dose, the mortality of a wound is bound to time. A simple cut, if allowed to fester, can be fatal. While some areas are more tolerant than others, preventing death is simply a matter of restoring a wound within a set window of time.
Oh.
This is further proof that efficient use of magicka and restoration energy is crucial in the field. A large percentage of deaths happen because there is simply not enough time to find a healer.
This is true. You can certainly bleed to death before you can, cast a spell to heal yourself. But restoration may not be capable of what you want to do.
I never implied that my work was solely on the dead. I have also spent much of my time trying to find a way to focus my healing spells. My work began on small animals. I would make cuts in multiple locations and attempt to heal only one of the incisions.
What?
If the spell had succeeded, I would then compare the results to a traditional healing spell, as well as the amount of magicka required to cast it. Unfortunately, this presented a new dilemma. Contrary to what Honorius would have you believe, trapping wild animals is rather difficult. There is also the matter of screaming. Animals can be quite obnoxious when cut or burned. It's as if they don't understand the concept of research. Another jest.
Well, Khajiit does not find it funny. It's... So that's what it was. Good to know it was just old-fashioned animal torture. Khajiit is not impressed.
You mock me, but I derive no pleasure from the experiments, nor do I take any joy from hurting myself. But I feel I am too close to stop now.
You cut yourself?
Twice, but only to heal myself afterwards. The problem is that, so far, only one spell has been required to mend both wounds.
Well, Khajiit thinks that you should conduct future experiments upon yourself and not upon animals.
Until next time.
Innocent animals, Khajiit might add. And she doesn't know why she appreciates
amazing city. I've actually never
what you're trying to do,
but I always wanted to.
but torturing animals in order to learn is... It just seems wrong. But There's nothing Khajiit can do about it. It's not. If you have to... It's like with a cow. If you're going to slaughter a cow for food, you do it in as efficient manner as possible, because not only is it efficient, it's kinder. You don't start cutting off the legs while it's still alive and take its skin off and all while it's screaming in pain. You don't do that. You just don't. And to cut... I mean, you can't explain to the animal, excuse me, I'm just going to put this 6 cuts on you and I'm going to try heal 1. And, oh, don't mind all the pain while it's going on. You know, it's all for a good cause. No. You can't explain that to the animals. All they know is you are hurting them. That's why when Khajiit hunts, she tries to be as quick as possible. Now, it's true, sometimes she's not able to be quick because she missed a shot or whatever, but it's not intentional. Unlike her. She doesn't even know where she was running. Well, this seems like a market. So one of these shops might be the Alchemist. Let's look for the signs. Do you have signs here? Oh, there we are. Pawn shop. Alchemy. And it's still open.
Got something for just about everybody in here. Give a holler if you have any questions.
You guys come in a back door. Excuse me. Khajiit apparently has something for you.
You look rather pale. Could be ataxia. It's quite a problem back home in Cyrodiil.
Khajiit has fur. How can you tell that she's pale? Her nose, perhaps? But she isn't. She feels quite fine. Khajiit has some frost salts for you, however, from Farengar.
Ah, splendid, splendid. It's for a special brew I'm working on.
Ah.
A love elixir like none other.
Oh.
Maybe I'll test it on Farengar first.
You might not want to. He's...
But I suppose you expect some compensation. Here. These potions should suffice.
Oh, thank you. Oh. An invisibility potion? Khajiit thanks you. May Khajiit use your alchemy lab, you know, if she needs to when she's in the city.
As long as you clean up.
Oh, of course.
You know how to use it, right?
Of course.
Mix a couple of ingredients together, see what happens.
Of course.
A little wheat and blisterwort makes a healing potion, if you didn't know. We have plenty of ingredients for sale, too.
Wheat and blisterwort. Khajiit is not perhaps... Let's see what they have for sale.
Ah, so you're an alchemist, then?
Yes, Khajiit is, and she is going to buy a few things from you. You said blisterwort, did you not? And wheat. Do you... Oh, you have wheat sugar. Wheat. Do you have wheat? You have wheat, okay. So she will try out that recipe you mentioned. And she's going to buy a little bit more. And perhaps Khajiit might have something you wish to buy? Well, thank you. Khajiit will
Come
try.
back anytime if you need a remedy.
Of course. Khajiit will try this out very quickly. Yeah, you said blister
I sell
work.
cures for all ills, and I'll be happy to serve you.
Of course. Khajiit thanks you for that, in fact. And let's see. Where's the wheat? Wheat. Okay. There we go. That does in fact
That's a good
work.
concoction. But keep trying new things. Alchemy rewards inquisitive minds.
Yes, perhaps another time
What do
she
you
will
need, my friend?
do a bit more.
Farewell.
And Khajiit thanks you for the
I offer remedies
ingredients?
for ailments both common and rare. Do let me know if I can be of service.
Ooh. Do you have any use for this lesser soul gem? Khajiit can have it? Thank you. Khajiit appreciates that. Oh, there's another one up here. Thank you very much. Alright, Khajiit just spent all her
If
money.
there's anything I can help you with, you have but to ask.
Thank you.
Foolish old woman. You know nothing. Nothing of our struggles, our suffering.
Nothing. And what of my son, hmm? What of Thorald? Is he nothing? So don't talk to me about suffering.
Your son chose his side and he chose poorly, and now he's gone. Such is the way of war. The sooner you accept his loss, the better.
I will never accept his death. My son still lives, I feel it in my heart. So tell me, Battleborns, where is he? Where are you holding my Thorald?
Do you believe this old hag?
Jerk.
Holding him? Why, I've got him in my cellar. He's my prisoner. Face it, cow. Your stupid son is dead. He died a storm-cloaked traitor. And you best keep your mouth shut before you suffer the same.
Come on, father. There's nothing more to be said here.
Khajiit is glad to know what sort of person you are. Miranda. You have a torch. Now, Khajiit doesn't mind you having a torch.
As if Skyrim didn't have enough outsiders. Now we got mercenaries from Hammerfell strutting about. Trouble?
You interrupted
I heard the
Khajiit.
gourmet is hiding out somewhere in Skyrim. You know, fellow who wrote the cookbook.
Miranda. That torch. You remember a discussion about torches? Yes. Please remember. No torches when we're sneaking. Yes?
Say, Khajiit is curious. Did you like her video? Yes? Then please click the thumbs up button. Khajiit thanks you. Brrr.